Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the real United States. And as my longtime viewers know, a couple of times a year I like to do an episode about some of the local indigenous plant life here in the United States, and especially the trees. Now, what I'm standing in front of right now is an American black walnut tree. It's probably one of the most precious trees in the United States, at least in my opinion. The wood is highly, highly valuable, very expensive if you go and buy it as lumber. It has a white wood on the outside, but the inner grain, the heartwood they call it, is a very dark, dark brown. And it makes beautiful cabinetry, makes beautiful moldings. Back in centuries past, it's been used for flooring and casings on doors and windows. Very gorgeous wood. I don't know the genus and species off the top of my head. I hate to disappoint you. I'll put it down here on the screen, so there it is. And now, these grow a large nut that is kind of this golf ball sized green thing, and that's the husk on the outside of the nut. As these begin to ripen and mature, the husk starts to turn brown, and eventually it will crack and it'll come apart, and it will release this very dark, very rough contoured nut that has a very hard woody shell. You actually have to, it's best to break these with a hammer. I suppose if you had a really heavy duty nut cracker you probably could, but these are very, very tough. And black walnut is a very distinct taste, very different from the English walnut, which has a thinner shell and is just a completely different thing. But it's related, I believe, and inside it looks similar, but this has a very strong, distinct taste. And very good in cookies, very good in ice creams, of course. Black walnut ice cream, very popular here in the United States in high-end ice cream shops. And these husks give off a very black, inky substance as they begin to break down after they've matured. And in days gone by, that would be used as a wood stain. So you could actually stain lighter woods like oak or say pine to give it that deep brown color that's common of a lot of furniture or woodwork. So people would take these and they would crush them down and extract the juice from these to use as a wood stain. Obviously now it's all done with a lot of chemicals and stuff, but you still could, in fact, and these trees are very, very prolific. I mean, they grow bushels and bushels of nuts on a mature tree like this. So again, this is one of those things that played a big role in American history because it's a very strong, very hard wood. When it was plentiful in our colonial and post-colonial days, obviously it would be utilized for wagons and wagon beds and all sorts of things because it was a very strong wood. There was a lot of it around. It grew indigenous here in the United States. And of course the fruits were utilized, so pretty much everything on the tree was utilized. And I suppose when back in our colonial days it was even used as firewood, although that kind of breaks my heart to think about it now when you consider how much a piece of black walnut lumber costs. It's very expensive. Again, I don't know the current prices off the top of my head, but it's more expensive than oak or maple or any of the other woods or hickory. It is very expensive, but it makes beautiful, beautiful, very durable sorts of products. And it is still utilized this day. You can still buy black walnut lumber here in the United States at some major chains of lumber dealers. I'm not going to mention any names because they haven't given me any money to do so. And these trees will grow, they'll grow big like a maple tree or even bigger. They're very large, 60-foot tops on the canopies, and just gorgeous trees. This one's not that big. It's not one of the real older ones. This is probably a 30 or 35-foot tall canopy on this tree, and they have pinnate leaves that are grouped on long stems with little leaflets along them. Very easy to identify. Again, all these are not only perfectly edible, but really, really delicious. And wherever you find them here in the United States, you're often going to find like loads of them just laying around. The squirrels love these things, of course, put away for the winter. But they're kind of messy and difficult to deal with the black inky husks and the very hard shells rather on the nuts. So a lot of people don't bother with them even if they have a walnut tree in their yard. But those of us that are still into that sort of thing can go along, and people are more than happy to give you, you know, as many bushels of these as you want, and you can spend your winter cracking black walnuts and putting them up to make candies and cookies and all sorts of cool things. So I just wanted to share that with you. Another very classic piece of American history and in terms of our local flora. And so I just hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've got a chance to learn something. If you got questions or comments, leave in the comment section below. I love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I can. If you haven't done so already, please pick subscribe. Come along for the adventure. We love having everybody with us. And as always, thank you for watching.